Alright, let's dive into something that's been making headlines recently, the emergence of H5 avian influenza in Australian native birds, specifically in New South Wales. Now, I know what you're thinking, bird flu. Isn't that something we've heard about before? But here's the thing, this isn't just another outbreak. This is the first time we're seeing H5 avian influenza in native birds in NSW, and it's a big deal. Personally, I think this story is a perfect example of how interconnected our ecosystems are and how quickly things can escalate when it comes to wildlife health. What makes this really interesting is the context. We're talking about greater crested terns, migratory birds that have been found dead in two different parts of NSW, one near Narooma on the south coast and the other near Wentworth in the west. These aren't just random locations, they're areas where migratory birds often pass through. In my opinion, this raises a deeper question: how did the virus get here, and what does it mean for other bird populations, both native and migratory? One thing that immediately stands out is the government's response. They are saying these cases weren't unexpected, and they've been preparing for this. But here's where it gets tricky: preparing for something and actually dealing with it are two very different things. What many people don't realize is that once a virus like this starts spreading in wildlife, it's incredibly hard to contain. The fact that we're already seeing cases in Victoria and South Australia, with a total of 215 confirmed infections nationwide, suggests this is just the tip of the iceberg. From my perspective, the poultry industry's involvement is a critical piece of this puzzle. While there haven't been any detections in poultry in NSW yet, the industry has been on high alert. What this really suggests is that the line between wildlife health and agricultural health is blurrier than most people think. If you take a step back and think about it, an outbreak in poultry could have devastating economic and food security implications. So, the collaboration between government agencies and the poultry industry isn't just about protecting birds, it's about safeguarding our entire food system. A detail I find fascinating is the public's role in all of this. The birds were reported by members of the public to the Emergency Animal Disease Hotline, which shows how important community vigilance is. But it also raises a concern: how many cases are going unreported? If people aren't aware of the symptoms or don't know how to report them, we could be missing a lot of data. This isn't just a government problem, it's a community issue that requires everyone to be informed and proactive. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. South Australia has been hit the hardest, with mass mortality events already reported. This isn't just sad, it's alarming. What this really implies is that the virus is spreading faster than we can control it. And with events like the Royal Adelaide Show cancelling bird and poultry exhibits, it's clear that the impact is already being felt in unexpected ways. If you ask me, this is a wake-up call about how vulnerable our ecosystems are and how quickly things can spiral out of control. So, where does this leave us? Personally, I think the most important takeaway is that this isn't just a bird problem, it's a human problem too. The health of our wildlife is directly tied to our own health and livelihoods. What many people don't realize is that outbreaks like this can have ripple effects across industries, from agriculture to tourism. If we don't take this seriously, we could be facing consequences that go far beyond a few dead birds. In closing, I want to leave you with this thought: how prepared are we, as a global community, to handle outbreaks like this? Are we doing enough to monitor wildlife health, or are we waiting until it's too late? This isn't just a question for Australia, it's a question for all of us. Because if there's one thing this story has shown me, it's that when it comes to diseases like H5 avian influenza, we're all in this together. So, what do you think? Are we doing enough, or is there more we could be doing? Let me know in the comments below.